Hey y'all, I just wanted to quickly come on here and do a Q&A for my ladies who are in the Peaceful Homekeeping Challenge. Um, okay, you guys, I decided that I need to have two personas before we begin because I feel like when I'm in teacher mode, I'm a little different than when I'm like, chill mode. So today, it's teacher mode. It's tough love time, okay? So I need to come and address a few questions for the ladies who are on the Peaceful Homekeeping Challenge. And guys know that I have my feedback form and I stay in touch with you guys on Instagram. So I just want to come and talk about a couple of issues that came up this week, just in case there's anyone else having some of the same concerns, so that we can go ahead and talk about it. Okay. So number one, hey Lisa Led, yay! So I wanted to talk about finding balance. I have received a lot of comments on Instagram for people who are saying, like, how do you take all the pieces of the system and make them work together? They're asking, like, I felt like I was doing really good before, we added the weekly home blessing. I felt like I was doing really good with my maintenance routine. I was starting to get the hang of zone cleaning, and now you just throw this weekly home blessing on me, and now it's too much. I feel like I'm spending more time in one area and I'm neglecting other areas, and I'm just having a hard time like balancing all the pieces of the system. And so, how do I find balance? And so, I want to talk to you guys about that today because up on further investigation, because y'all know I will ask questions, what I've been finding out is that you guys are having a hard time finding balance because you're not doing what I said, okay? Hey guys, thanks for jumping on. I see you, Jean. I see you, Carol. I see you, Isabel. But yeah, you're not doing what I said. And I feel like, when I made my video last week describing the weekly home blessing to you guys, I tried to be very clear that this is an area, this is a trap for some of you guys. Okay, how do I know it's a trap for you? Because it was a trap, and sometimes it can be a trap for me as well. But we're gonna go back, we're gonna rewind, and we're gonna talk about it a little more. Oh, thank you, Lisa Lay. You're so nice. Um, so we're going to talk about it a little more, and we're going to talk about just finding balance. And so the metaphor that I like to use when talking about the different components of the peaceful homekeeping system. So just a refresher, we have the maintenance routines that we do, the daily maintenance. So every morning and every night, and they just kind of hold things together. And then we have zone cleaning, which allows us to move forward on decluttering projects that are kind of that we've been delaying on. And then that's also a good time to do zone cleaning, and not zone cleaning, I'm sorry, detail cleaning and just some of the detail work. And then last week we introduced weekly maintenance. So this is like your vacuuming, your dusting, your polishing, and things like that. And you're supposed to be doing each task for 10 minutes at a time. Now, the way that I like to look at it is it's kind of like going to high school. So a lot of you guys probably went to like a typical high school where you had a variety of subjects and you had to rotate between classes. And so let's say that you had math, if you have math, when you're in the math hour, that's all you're gonna focus on for that time. It's just working on your math. But let's say that you have an assignment and you didn't get your math done. Are you going to sit in math for the rest of the day or for the rest of the week until you perfected that assignment, or do you have to just move on to the next thing? You know, and then let's say you're not done in the next class. You don't get to just stay there all day. You have to do what you can while you have the opportunity to work there. And then you have to move on to the next class. And so, if you felt like you could have done things better and you felt like you needed more time, the solution is not to stay there and drag there and be there all day. The solution is go ahead and finish all the buckets that you're supposed to work in for the day, and then you come back tomorrow and you try again, and you inch a little, or you make a little more progress tomorrow in all those areas. Or if tomorrow's not going to cut it for you because something has come up, or maybe you have a deadline that you have to hit, you're going to rotate through all your classes, and then when you go home or when you're off hours or when you're doing homework, that's when you will go catch up on that stuff. So feeling like you're not completely done with one area of your peaceful homekeeping is not a reason to stay there and to dwell there at the risk of neglecting the other areas. And so that's kind of what I want to talk to you guys about, is because I know that as a recovering perfectionism, I know that sometimes it's hard to kind of let stuff go. So let's say, for example, you're doing your weekly home blessing and I told you to vacuum for 10 minutes. For a perfectionist, that's going to be really hard because you're going to be like, well, what about that over there? And what about over that over there? And I missed this. And it's a trap to feel like you have to do it all at once. And so, what I really am hoping to share with you guys and to give you guys is the ability to find balance in all of those things. To, yeah, maybe work on the vacuuming and get as far as you can, but give yourself permission to like do this stuff in steps instead of feeling like it has to all be done in one day. Because doing it all in one day and feeling the need to do all of your projects, everything in your home in one day, that's contributing to a lot of the stress that you guys are feeling. And so it's kind of like, for me, all I can do is give you guys my stories and let you guys know kind of what I've been through in the hopes that you guys can relate. But let's say, okay, I've had experiences decluttering my pantry, okay? And I'm gonna tell you what that was like for me before Fly Lady. So for me, working in my pantry would be like zone cleaning. So before Fly Lady or before I started my system, I could literally be working in that pantry all day long. I could be like stressed out. I could be feeling anxiety, but I would not give myself permission to stop until I saw kind of like the finished project, the grand reveal, and things were just, the way that I needed to see them in my mind. And then I gave myself permission to walk away. So that's what I used to do before Fly Lady. And then now that I'm on my Fly Lady system or my peaceful homekeeping system, the way that I approach it is I get 15 minutes a day. I get to show up for 15 minutes on Monday to zone clean. I get to show up on another 15 minutes on Tuesday to zone clean. And I get to show up on a Wednesday to zone clean. And I'm just saying that both of those strategies gave me the same results. And I mean, if you've never tried it before, you could think that I'm straight pulling your leg. But, okay, not the same results, but very similar results. If I would have added a fourth day of zone cleaning, then I would have got the same results. But I decided after 3 days, it was good enough for me. But I'm just saying, it's kind of like, both strategies give you the same results. But let's think about your quality of life and your peace of mind looking at both strategies. If you feel like you have to do it all in one day, like I said, I was stressed out. And guess who's not going to maintain that pantry? Guess who's not going to come back and touch that pantry until it gets out of control again? Because I just walked away from that and I had such a negative experience. Also, when you feel like you have to do everything in one day, once again, you sacrifice that balance. So what did you not get to accomplish that day because you felt like you had to devote all of your energy and all of your time to that pantry? You know what I'm saying? Like for me, it's like, yeah, your pantry looks great when I used to do it the way that I used to do it back in the days, but you just fell off of your maintenance routines. You ain't talked to your kids all day. Y'all probably gonna be eating chicken nuggets again for dinner because you don't got no energy to cook. You're tired and like you're just all burnt out. You know what I'm saying? Whereas if I say, you know what, I don't have to do this all in one day. I'm giving myself permission to take it slow, to do it bit by bit, to remain balanced and make sure that I'm hitting a variety of issues or a variety of cleaning. On the other hand, if I do it the way that I laid out for you guys in my system, yes, it's going to take me 3 to 4 days to work this thing out. But what do I gain? And when you do it that way, once again, you gain the balance. You gain the ability to be able to juggle a variety of different types of cleaning and not neglecting, something else for the sake of your pantry. You gain the ability, your peace of mind. Like it's simply less stressful to break this stuff down into chunks and give yourself permission to do it a little bit every day. And then when you walk away from it, you didn't just have like the battle of your life. So you're going to have energy. You're going to be excited to see that thing. And you're going to be even more motivated to keep it together when you realize what you can accomplish in 15 minutes. And so I just want to encourage you guys to, I know that how hard it is to like see something that needs to get done and feeling like you have to do it today. But that is what I feel like is the beauty of this system, is when there is a way to like take care of your crap and to be productive and to have your peace of mind at the same time. And I'm telling you guys, this has been the way for me. And also, there's a way to get stuff done without neglecting other areas of your life. And that was a huge issue for me. And so I just want to share that message with you guys again today, because like I know that this weekly home blessing was a big trap for some of you guys, which I kind of knew it was coming, but I really want to emphasize the importance of using your timer, using your timers, and just being aware that it's important to be like balanced when it comes to the different types of cleaning. And I think that you guys, if you give it a chance and you do it the way that I outlined, just give it like a week or give it like a 2 weeks. I feel like you're going to like it a little bit better, because it's nice to get that pantry done. And it's also nice for your dishes to not be out of control, and the laundry to not be out of control, and your hot spots and clutter to not be out of control. And it's also nice to feel like, your floors are vacuumed, and, to see the full grand project. It's nice to see everything pulled together. And sometimes I feel like, using my pantry as an example of getting carried away with one task. And it doesn't just have to be your pantry, but I'm like, who's coming to grade you? You know what I'm saying? Like, in school, like we had to do an assessment and somebody would come and check our work. But like literally the only person who cares if you knock out these tasks in a way that stresses you out is yourself. Like, you're grading yourself. There, for me, I don't know about y'all, but I'm like, literally, there's nobody coming to check my work. There's nobody coming in to be like, did you clean this pantry in 1 day or did you clean it in 4? Like, nobody really cares, but it's like we care. And the way to let yourself out of that and the way to free yourself out of that is literally just a click in your mind. All you have to say is, I give myself permission to do it however way you feel like would be more peaceful. And I feel like that's literally what this is about. It's about giving yourself permission to try something different. And literally nobody is tying you, nobody is making you feel obligated to approach your cleaning in one type of way. You get to choose the way that works best for you. And if you've never tried it any other way, that I'm simply just providing a strategy to help you find that balance. And, at the end of the day, it's up to you to try it. But I just feel like if what you were doing before is stressing you out and, you're attracted to the peaceful living way, then that's the key to it, is allowing yourself to juggle the different things that you have to do, allowing yourself to find balance with all the different things that we have to take care of. And if you want to have balance, the thing that you're going to have to sacrifice is you're going to have to sacrifice the perfection. And I'm not even going to say that you have to sacrifice the perfection completely, because the thing is, you can attain excellent results if you do it the way that I outlined, giving yourself permission to do it a little bit every day. And in fact, you're probably going to get even better results than what you were going to originally get when you felt like you have to do it all in 1 day. Because when you're trying to do all the things, you're trying to do it all in 1 day, you're trying to make sure everything's perfect, you're going to get tired. And toward the end, the quality of your work is going to start to go down as you're getting tired, as you're getting overwhelmed. Whereas if you allow yourself to break this stuff down into little steps and to consistently move forward on all the things that you're trying to work on every day, you get to jump back in the game with renewed energy, refreshed. And who says that 4 days is the magic number for your pantry? If you're feeling good, girl, show up for a full 5 days, show up for 7 days. And I just feel like for some reason we feel like if we're not doing it at once, we sacrifice quality results. But I argue that if you allow yourself to slow down, break this stuff into little steps, you are actually positioning yourself to get better results than you probably would have ever gotten when you were trying to do it in a way that frustrated you, that made you feel overwhelmed, that made you shut down, that made you feel overwhelmed, and that made you just focus on one thing while dropping the ball in many different areas of your life. So, like I said, it's time for Professor Day. The tough love is here today because I want you guys to be successful. And like I said, because I was someone who used to be in your seat. I used to be exactly where you were. I show you guys, okay, my picture's taped to my table, but pretty much when I used to be doing the same thing as you guys were, I understand. And that's another thing. I feel like I can see, because I have this picture right here from back in the days, because I look at this anytime I make content, anytime I make a video, and I'm like, what does this girl need to hear? So I understand. I am you. You are me. Like, I'm saying? I feel like a lot of us, we have a lot in common. And so I'm just trying to share what has helped me get over that obstacle. And I want to just acknowledge that I know that when you guys are showing up and you're overdoing it and you're not giving yourself permission to do this stuff in steps, I know that you're doing it with such good intentions. Like, I know it. I know that your heart is pure. I know that you just want to do a great job. But I just want to tell you that there's more than one way to do a great job. And it simply requires that you give yourself permission to try something. Try it this way. Try it the peaceful way. Try it by breaking up your task into small, bite-sized chunks and taking a little bite out of it every day. Because I promise if you take care of yourself in the process of getting this stuff done, the results are going to be so much better. And I was thinking about something. I was thinking about when I was in college. Now, if I could go back, I would really tell myself to provide balance to myself, because that's one thing that people who are recovering perfectionists, that's what we do when we have a goal or a vision. It's like we go into tunnel vision and everything else gets thrown out the window just for the sake of hitting that target, hitting that goal. And you guys, it's not healthy for the long term. It works really well when you have short deadlines. Maybe you have something at work, maybe you have a deadline that you have to hit. But a lot of this stuff, it's like we're living our home lives like we have a deadline. Like, these things have to be done next week, and it's not true. And it's like when you get into that tunnel vision, you don't take care of yourself. You're probably, if you're burnt out and frustrated all the time, you're not showing up for your family, getting your crap done. And there's a way that you can do both. You can take care of yourself, you can find balance, and you can get your stuff done. But it just requires that you scale it back a little bit and give yourself permission to take care of this stuff in bite-sized pieces and be consistent. And if you are taking care of yourself and you're making sure that you're taking small chunks, really, it's so much easier. It's easy to be consistent when you're doing it a little bit at a time. So that's what I have to say. That's my PSA for today. Professor Day. I haven't picked my name, if I'm going to be Professor Day, Director Day, but my tough love session. So I'm going to go read the comments. I have a couple more questions that I want to address before I go downstairs. So I'm sorry, guys. I really suck at reading and talking at the same time. All right. Let me look through here. Okay. Off topic. Oh, wait. I already read that. I have to run some errands, so I'll watch later. Okay. Bye, Isabel. Put the ruler down. I'm scared. LOL, kidding. The ruler means it's tough love time, guys. This Lisa Lett, she said it makes sense. Hey, Sharina. Just ordered a Bissell Crosswave vacuum. Have high hopes for it. Girl, let me know how that goes. I remember you guys talking about that in last week's live. Write it down. Put it on the next rotation, or like she said, pick it up later. Just do what you can and move on. Exactly. I don't know why juggling just kind of comes to my mind. Like, you have to juggle these 3 balls. Like, you would be a really sucky juggler if you have to hyper focus on one ball and throw the others out the window. If you just focus. No, guys, we need balance. Juggle those balls. If the vacuuming is incomplete after your 10 minutes and you feel like you could have did more, it's okay to move on and juggle the other ball and then come back to the vacuuming ball tomorrow, or come back to it next week. You know what I'm saying? And when you make this stuff easy, it's so much easier for you to juggle all of the responsibilities that you have when you don't get hyper focused on the one ball. I don't know why that analogy just came to me. Okay, let's keep it going. When working on my pantry, I threw out the old stuff one day and picked up the other things and put them on the shelf. Another day. That's exactly what I did, Sharita. I think that's why it went faster for me, is because that's another question that I'm going to address, and I'll do it right now. Someone said that when they showed up for their zone cleaning, they show up for their decluttering projects and they're just overwhelmed. Where do I start? This is overwhelming for me. And that's where you start. Declutter. Set your timer for 15 minutes and find stuff that you don't need anymore. Because if your pantry is or I use pantry for example, but it can be anything, a drawer, a room, a closet. If it is stuffed to the brim, and there's a good chance that a lot of that stuff, you haven't seen it in ages, a good half of that stuff probably needs to go. Set your timer for 15 minutes and start releasing stuff. That is the easiest way to take away the overwhelm from your decluttering projects. And that is the easiest way to get started. Find stuff that you don't need anymore. Bring your little trash bag. Bring your little donation box and get rid of stuff. And I promise you that if you get rid of crap, you will see the light at the end of the tunnel. And so I was talking about my actual pantry. That's why it only took me 4 days to get it done. The first day, I literally just threw out stuff. I gave myself permission to throw out stuff that I know dang well we bought, we weren't gonna eat it. I felt like guilty about wasting food, but I'm like, girl, like, I felt so guilty. I'm like, holding on to that food and not eating it is still wasteful. Like, let it hold itself in the trash can. Like, let it hold itself in this donation box and send it out your house. Because I'm like, to me, it's not helpful to be like, I don't want to waste and for it to just sit there. You know dang well your family's not going to eat it. So for me, I had stuff that people brought over. I had stuff that I tried it at the store and it didn't work. My son used to have a lot of food allergies, and so I bought a lot of specialty foods for him that didn't taste so great. And then I was just holding on to it because I felt guilty to let it go. And oh, by the way, my son outgrew a lot of those food allergies, so we didn't need that stuff anymore. So it's literally just consuming all of the space in my pantry, or most of the space in my pantry. I just have the stuff that nobody's eating, nobody desires to eat, and that's day one. Let that crap go. Let it go. And then once you see the stuff that y'all are actually using, that you're actually needing, that's when everything just feels like I can finally see the light at the end of the tunnel. So if you guys watched the video where I talked about zone cleaning, I kind of outlined a 4-step process. If you have my worksheets that I've sent out in my email list, then you guys also have the 4-step process there. And step 1 is to declutter. Next step is to group things into like categories. So once you have like I said, if it's something that a closet or something that you know dang well you ain't seen the back of that closet in 3 years, about half of that stuff probably needs to go. You don't need it anymore. It is not helpful. It is not useful for this season of your life. And so maybe it used to be useful before, but it's not useful right now, especially if it can be sitting in a closet and nobody's using it. So step 2 is once you have the things that you know that you want to keep, start grouping that stuff into like categories. So you might have a section over here for your nail products. You might have a section over here for medicine. You might have a section over here for, I don't know, what else goes in a closet? Girly products. You might have a section over here for cleaning products. Sorry, my alarm. My kids are out of school today, but I have my alarms up just in case, or because I don't want to forget when they have classes and stuff. So anyway, so yeah, start dividing that stuff into categories. And then take a picture, girl, and go to the Dollar Tree and find a bucket or something that can hold those categories together. Because the last thing that you want to do is put all that stuff back on the pantry. Because if your family's anything like mine, or your cabinet, because if your family's anything like mine, literally by the end of the week, that stuff will be like jumbled all together. And I found that the secret to keeping the stuff organized longer is to use containers or something to separate your categories. So that's step 2. Take those grouped items and put them into like some type of basket, especially if it's like something like a closet or where there's a lot of different categories of stuff. Now, there are some pantries where are drawers and closets and pantries I don't do that with. It's not necessary because there's not so much stuff that can get jumbled around. But if it's like a bathroom or something like that, absolutely, like separate that stuff out. And then the next thing is, I said decorate because, declutter, organize, yeah. So, that's another thing. Make sure that you do not try to organize at the same time that you're decluttering. That is like so overwhelming to me. That's what I used to do before I started my Fly Lady journey, is I used to try to like go through it and organize and declutter at the same time. Separate that crap out. Declutter first, then do your organization. And for me, organizing just means putting things into like categories and then figuring out where you want to put it. Like, where do you want to store it after that? So that's organizing. And then after that, do a little decorating, like get your place, situate it, figure out where you want to put things, make it beautiful or aesthetic or however you want to do it. And then the final step is deep clean, which is going to be what you're going to do to that area. Once it's decluttered, I promise y'all, if y'all listen to me and you do your daily maintenance, your daily maintenance routine every morning and every night, and you stay on top of that zone cleaning every time you get to that area, that place will never get as out of control as you think it will. It will never get that out of control again if you follow this system. So that's all you're going to have left to do. Like when you go to your bathroom, it's not going to be like a big explosive mess that you have to zone clean. That's all that's going to be left is detail cleaning. And so you get in there and you do your detail cleaning. That's it. I mean, that's it. Like, that has been the simplest way for me to tackle the decluttering projects around this house without getting overwhelmed. And trust me, I used to get overwhelmed, which is probably why I wasn't doing it as much as I should have before I started my systems. And so I just wanted to share that because I know someone asked me specifically about how to deal with the overwhelm when it's time to show up for your zone cleaning project. So just wanted to rehash that. All right, so let me keep it going. And good morning. Hey, Brooke. LaDay, do you have a group community I can sign up for? Can you leave? Okay, so that's something I've been kind of thinking about. While you guys are here, please leave me some feedback about if you guys are interested in carrying this conversation over into maybe your private community, because that's something I've been thinking about. I haven't made any decisions because I do realize that a community is kind of like a huge commitment, and so I haven't made any decisions yet, but I just want to kind of get an idea of who would be like interested, because if there's a lot of interest in it, that's something that I could possibly do. But if it's just going to be like me and one friend, to me, I'm just like, I'm not going to do it. Like I just want to kind of see who's interested, if there's enough interest in it. And I'm telling y'all that if we do it, it will be probably like a private, and it probably will be a paid community. And that's mainly because I just want the people who are the most serious to come, and so I want to just weed out like trolls and people who aren't really seriously taking the system like into consideration, who are not seriously trying to implement it. So that's a good way to weed out people, because trolls are not going to be checking for anything that's paid. And obviously I would keep it affordable if I decided to do that. But I need to kind of get an idea of who's interested. If I have enough interest, like I said, I will take that into consideration. Another thing is I just don't do Facebook. I don't like Facebook, and most of the other community platforms I've seen online, they require a fee. So, I can't pay for the fee by myself. And so like it would have to be a group effort, but I think that would be really good. I will tell you, I've been talking about it on Instagram, and some of the things that people have been expressing an interest in on Instagram would be like more challenges, because people say that they want accountability. So more challenges. Let's really stick to this one routine for the next week. And then we'll have a way to track your results. And then at the end, you guys will earn gold stars, like people who showed up. Some of you guys are saying that it would be really fun to make the challenges fun, the consistency challenges fun. So maybe having raffles and games at the end of the month to just celebrate you guys for showing up and celebrating your hard work. People were saying that it would be nice to have like small groups. And so maybe, periodically, instead of just thinking about this stuff in your brain, like, okay, this is what went well, this is what I want to work on, and these are some solutions I can try to do that in a group setting. And so I know that now they have ways where you can do that virtually. You can have small groups so that you can talk to like-minded moms. And you want to know what would be even cooler? If you can talk to moms who are in a similar situation as you, like they have the same number of kids, maybe they're kind of living in a similar lifestyle, so that you guys can put your heads together and figure out what tweaks can you make to make the system work for you. And so I think small groups, I feel like would be really helpful for people to just think out loud and to get that support and get that assurance. And then you guys say you want accountability, because for me, I know that I perform better when I have to go tell somebody what I did or what I didn't do. And so you guys said that you want that. You want to be able to go have people that you can report to and just be like, hey, this is how it went. And just, you feel like that would put a fire under your butt to help you establish these habits, so that you don't have to think about the homekeeping anymore, because it's just going to be automatic. And so, like I said, organizing something like that would be a lot of work. And also I know that the platform costs. So and I don't want to attract trolls. I just want to attract the most serious people who've already decided that they want to live a peaceful life. They don't want to be stressed out all the time. And so that's something I'm thinking about. But please just let me know, either people who are watching live, let me know in the comments, or if you're watching later, let me know your feedback in the comments. Because like I said, if I feel like there's a good sense of people wanting this, then that's something that I'm willing to do. So like I said, I haven't decided yet, so you don't come to me being like, when's the group happening? Where's the group? Because I don't know. I'm just thinking about it, and I'm just listening to you guys, and I'm just sharing what the feedback has been. That has been the number one feedback for this whole Peaceful Homekeeping Challenge, is you guys want community. You guys want assurance. You guys want connection. And so, but I just, like I said, I want to kind of get a pulse on how many of you guys are like actually serious about that. All right, let me keep going. Hey, Shari. Excellence over perfection, girl. Yes, excellence over perfection. You can have excellence without the perfection, and I just don't think I realized that before, I started my journey. That excellence comes from consistency, you guys. Excellence comes from setting up systems or habits that are realistic and showing up day after day after day after day after day. I thought excellence were simply just the results. Like, okay, let me bust my neck and let me get this result today. Like, that's great. I mean, that's good. That's good. It's stressful and you might do okay. But like I said, you produce the best work for me when I put myself in a position to be consistent and to keep showing up and working on it a little bit every day. My pantry looks so much better when I did it the slow way and I took my time and I did it over the course of several days and I came to it with my best energy than it did when I tried to do it at once and I was stressed out, burned out, and tired. So excellence over perfection. And excellence, for me, I just feel like excellence requires that consistency component. All right, let's see. Caught you live on my morning walk. Hey, Kenya, you are singing my song. I don't know which song I was singing, girl. I'll just be singing sometimes. This is from Effie. Learning to move on has been the thing that's really made a difference. I'm so happy to hear that. Kenya says it's wasting space. I'm sure she's talking about, your cluttered pantries and closets and stuff. I can relate. Haven't seen the back of my closet in years. Girl, that was totally me. That's why I was like, I know this stuff got to go. I know. And gosh, it just feels so much good because sometimes we forget how good it feels to have space, just to be able to see, what's going on. And you feel like that clutter is so valuable. You feel like holding on to stuff that you don't need. Like, what if I might need this one day? And it literally feels that way until you let it go. And then you're like, you don't miss it anymore. And then you're like, my space is looking pretty good. And you don't even think about that clutter anymore. So let that crap go, y'all. Give yourself permission. And that is literally all that is required. Like, sometimes I feel like I say this all the time. Give yourself permission. Because sometimes in our minds can literally make us feel like we're shackled to things. We're shackled to rituals. We're shackled to ways of doing things and that we can't change, we can't adjust, but it's not true. It is just in your mind. And literally, that is all you have to say. I give myself permission to block, to let this crap go. I give myself permission to do a 10-minute vacuum job. I give myself permission to whatever it is. Like, you're not stuck. If you feel like you want to try something, let yourself free from, those shackles that your mind tries to put on you because they're imaginary. It's not real. Give yourself permission to do the things that will make you happier, that will produce the results that you're going after. All right. I've been purging my home at least 3 times a year. I agree. Putting things together, categorized together. Yeah, that helps me so much. Containers are key. That's from Kenya. They don't have to be perfect in the container, but at least they're all contained. Girl, I don't think any of my containers are perfect. Like in my bathroom, maybe I'll show you guys one day. Literally, I have like these big old containers and like I just have the stuff in there. Like I don't have, sometimes on social media they try to make it seem like you want everything to be like color coded and put together really cute. Girl, you don't need all that. If you want to, you can do it, but just for the sake of making things easier to like sift through, easier to see what you're doing, you don't need all that. You just need something to hold it together, and then you can make it pretty later, yeah. And hey, Nurse Mom Fly Baby. My Life 5.0. Hey, girl. And I need to do one step in every room. How much time do you recommend per day or week? Okay, so I'm thinking that you're talking about, so if you've been following, this is from Time Kia JF. If you've been following the Peaceful Homekeeping Challenge, then you know that we have 3 different types of cleaning that we're trying to rotate between. So we have the daily maintenance. So that's going to be like pretty much my song is dishes, laundry, hot spots. Dishes, laundry, hot spots. So you're making sure that you're doing something with the dishes, you're rotating or doing something with your laundry, and you're making sure that you're touching on your hot spots at least 2 to 3 times a day. So like, for example, let's say that for me, my master bedroom is a very high traffic area. So for me, I'm touching up the hot spots in my bathroom, my master bedroom, my master bathroom. So like I'm always in the process of picking up daily mess to make sure that it doesn't get out of control. And my morning maintenance routine is 15 minutes in the morning, and then I do 15 minutes at night. And like I said, midday routine if I need one, if it's just getting a little crazy. And then next we have zone cleaning. So zone cleaning, we break our home down into 5 sections, and each section of the home gets focused attention as we rotate throughout the weeks of the month. So this week we are working in our master bedroom. So I have 3 days selected this week where I'm giving focused attention to my master bedroom. So any projects in there that need to get done, any decluttering projects, anything that needs to be tightened up, this is my time to do it. Next week I'm moving to my living room. And so you're asking, like, as you're rotating between rooms, what I recommend is that if you're doing the zone cleaning method, that you maintain that room the best that you can on a daily basis. So just constantly be picking up fresh new clutter, fresh new things that your family's pulling out on a daily basis. But then you save your decluttering projects and things that really need your time and attention to sort and to like organize. I recommend that you save that for zone cleaning. And I think we do, depending on which room it is, master bedrooms are going to be on the 4th week of the month, and kids' bedrooms are on the 3rd week of the month. So I hope that answers your question. Your hair looks really lustrous. Girl, thank you so much. I'll just be trying. Thank you. I don't Facebook much at all. I would pay a reasonable fee for a private community membership elsewhere. Okay, good to know. I'm interested in some sort of community. Just let me know how to sign up. Okay, good to know. My house is decluttered since January when my mother-in-law passed. Making decisions about her things is hard for my husband, but we are getting there. And yeah, that's the hard part because there are some things that are like sentimental. I know that I had to deal with that, especially when it came to things that my grandmother gave me. And there's just really no easy answer for that. For me, personally, I just decided, like, I had a lot of stuff. Like, my grandma was so sweet. She's so kind, and she was so, like, always generous and thinking about other people. So she sent me, as a young mom, she sent, like, a lot of stuff for, like, pots and pans. And my grandma, she just went to a little garage sale, and she would pick up something for, like, a nickel here, a dime there. But you guys, like, my old kitchen, like, all my cabinets were just full of stuff, like, pots and pans that I didn't need, and that like it was too much and it was overwhelming, and I felt like I couldn't arrange the stuff in there. And so I just ended up deciding to just keep a few pieces, like few key pieces that were the most useful and that I just really wanted to keep. And I ended up letting go of everything else. And like at the time I felt like conflicted, like, oh my gosh, like, my grandma gave this stuff to me. But since I've let it go, for me, I haven't regretted that because I really have been grateful for the space that I have now and being able to arrange stuff. And so, yeah, and I wish that I could make, those decisions easier, but it's really not. And I think one thing that really helped me was doing those 27 fling boogies. And so basically you set your timer for 15 minutes, and that's all you do for 15 minutes. And when you're in your zone cleaning session, you just set your timer for 15 minutes and you just look for stuff to get rid of. And for me, that really put me in a position to just trust my intuition. I feel like my intuition just knows like when it's time to let stuff go. You know what I'm saying? And so if that's all I'm doing, that's all I'm focusing on for 15 minutes, it allowed me to be in a headspace to make those kinds of decisions. And I'm just like, okay, like 27 things have to go. And it doesn't all have to come from here, but I just went cabinet by cabinet until I found 27 things I need to let go. And my gut, my intuition told me that it was just time to let those things go. And like I said, now looking back, I haven't missed that stuff. It's been it's been a year, and it's nice to know that, I have other memories and ways to honor my grandmother. That's not necessarily the possessions that she left to me or left behind. And so yeah, I know that's a hard one. That's going to be hard for a lot of you guys. Many people who pay can meet on Zooms like .a.lunch and learn type of chat or evening. Okay, is that tonem? I need you to re-explain that to me. Are you saying that this is like a website, zoom.like.a.lunch? Is that a website or is that a typo? Is that something I need to look into? Carol says she lives with us. Okay, Carol. Oh, your mom-in-law lives with you guys. Or no, she used to live with you guys, so you had her stuff. Okay, that makes sense. Singing my little by little song takes small bites. Oh, my little by Girl, I see. That's the problem. That's my problem. I be making up songs on the spot. Girl, don't let me get a ruler. And then I can't remember the song I made up. So I'm going to have to watch the playback and remember my song. I don't have Facebook and will not be getting one. Would you do Zooms? Only people who play get the meeting password and ID. Okay, that's a good idea. I'm not like a huge Facebooker either, so I totally understand you guys. Like, I just feel like I just rather not with Facebook. So I'm on there for like other stuff, but I'm just like, I get in and I get out. So I have a hard time decluttering. Baby steps. Yeah. What about putting things in boxes with a date to evaluate later for the harder items for him to let go of? Girl, okay, Kenya, I don't know if she's still on here, but she had a video and she has such a great idea. And it's kind of like, I kind of feel like this is what Fly Lady kind of hinted at, but Kenya took it to the next level for me. Her name, her channel name is Kenya's Corner. So if you guys are interested in her channel, you should definitely go check her out. She's just the cutest, and she really believes like in just being practical as well and doing things a little bit at a time. And I feel like we kind of have a lot of alignment when it comes to just homekeeping, but the difference is her home is freaking beautiful. And so you'll get a lot of inspiration over there. And she just does such a good job, and she's a true inspiration for me. And she was talking about decluttering, and when it comes to decluttering hard things, what she'll do is she'll put her stuff in like a box and she'll put it in the trunk. And like pretty much if she'll leave it there for an extended amount of time, and if you need anything, you go get it out the box. But anything that's been in that box after a significant amount of time has passed by, you just drive it right onto the donation center. It's already packed up. You take the box and you drop it off. Don't start going through it. Don't start doing all the things. You'll know, like if you decide that you want to do it that way, after 30 days, if the stuff is still sitting in the box, that means you really don't need it for this season, and let it go. So I think that's a great idea about decluttering. Key is to organize your space and not your stuff. Example, if only 4 pots fits in the cabinet, you pick 4 pots to keep. The rest have to be let go. Girl, that's another thing. I'm so glad that you brought that up, Lisa Lett, because I never thought about decluttering that way before until I started my Fly Lady journey, or until I started my system. Because I never, like, I'm just like, oh, girl, I hit myself with this ruler. I'm like, for example, like cups. That was a big one for me. Cups and bowls, because I would go get all the little cutesy cups and cutesy bowls from Dollar Tree, Walmart. And so I just had like a cabinet full of this stuff, And I never really thought about that could also be a form of clutter. Excess, having too much. And I'm like, how many bowls do we really need? Like, how many of these cups do we need? We don't need all this, And so I had to just give myself permission to cut the quantity in like by 2/3. Like, we just need this. And it's enough for us. And I'm going to use all this extra space for other things that we need, and finding space for some of the other stuff that we need. So sometimes clutter can just literally be excess, having too much of something. For me, it really blocks me from doing the things that I need to do when my pantries are stuffed full of stuff that I need. But do I really need that many in this space, Oh Lord, I just watched that Netflix show Home Edit. Seems unrealistic. I haven't watched it yet, but I've seen their Instagram page, the Home Edit, and I don't know if I should watch it. You just scared me. Organize and let the extra stuff go. I personally feel like, for me, just from what I've seen on the Instagram page, I don't think I'm in that season yet. Like with my young kids, I have drawers in my home that I refuse to organize them, because every time I do, my twin 2-year-olds, they happily go and they pull everything out the drawer. And I'm starting over from scratch. So I literally have a handful of drawers that they like the most, that they reach into. They pull it out in the morning. I shove it back in the night, And I'm like, that's realistic for me. That's what we're going to have to do until they get out of this stage. And so if it's like anything that's like organized with a fine tooth comb, I'm not in the season where I can do that yet. But like in the future, I wouldn't mind trying it, especially if I do like the zone cleaning approach, or I just work on it like 15 minutes at a time when I'm in that zone. For me, I wouldn't mind like the aesthetic organization. I just don't think that I'm in the season in my life where I can do that yet. And that's okay, All those grandmas, when you just keep a few things, it makes you appreciate them so much more. Yeah. I wish more people understood just how much you don't miss the stuff you get rid of. So true. We oftentimes have advice, knowledge, don't do it into practice for ourselves. Let me see. We oftentimes have advice or knowledge, but we don't put it into practice for ourselves. Girl, that's the truth. It's the truth. It's the truth. Because I'm talking about homekeeping, but girl, I need to be taking my own advice with this healthy eating. I've been telling myself, like, we're going to do it like the slow way. We're just going to focus on one habit at a time. I need to take my own advice with other areas of my life. So y'all know, I hope I try to make it perfectly clear on this channel. I am just a lady trying to learn how to live her best life. I will never come on here and make it seem like I'm just perfect and I know all and I just have my life together. I don't, but I'm trying to learn how to get there, and I'm just sharing the lessons that I picked up along the way. And so, yeah. Good morning from Kansas. Hey, Ernestine. Catching you live for a change. Hey. Maybe she means a private Zoom get-together, lunch and learn thing. Okay, I see what you're saying. Okay, I see what you're saying. Aw, shucks, that's from Kenya. Carol, gonna go. We'll catch you next time. Bye, Carol. You do being a good point. Most people don't have young kids. Yeah. Girl, most people don't have young kids. I thought most people did. Just, I don't know. They buy stuff to add the aesthetics, but not stuff the homemaker actually uses. Cereal, organized like the rainbow is cute and all, but who is really eating the green cereals? You guys must be still talking about the Hope Edit. Okay, well, I think I've reached the end of my comments. I'm so proud. I always feel good when I can get to everyone's comments, so that's really awesome. You guys, we are doing a live Q&A on Sunday, and I have a total of 1 question. Or actually, I just answered it. So I have no questions. So if you guys have questions, I'm going to be as open as a book as I can be. I like social media, I like transparency, but I also have boundaries. So, but anything that is within homekeeping, we can talk about YouTube, we can just talk about life update. If we keep it reasonable, I will be an open book on Sunday. So please bring your best questions. Feel free to leave questions in advance because y'all know how I am. I like to think about stuff, so I can give you like a really good, thoughtful answer. So any questions that you have or anything that you want to know about me, the peaceful homekeeping system, you got your own questions, kinks that you're trying to work out, things came up this week, let me know and we'll talk about it on Sunday. I just don't want to like get there and be like crickets and stuff, all right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.